How about, is there anything else on somebody's mind they'd like to discuss and talk about that's up and coming? Okay, so you're a listing broker and you have 6 offers that came in on your listing. Okay, you're amazed it's not 14 to 23. Okay, but you have 6
Oh
or
my
7, it
God,
doesn't
that
matter.
market's
6 to
crashing.
9 6 to 9 offers that come in, and your submission date is at 1 o'clock on Tuesday, and everyone's puts their offers in at various times. And now the sellers are coming in at 4 o'clock. What do you do to prepare in advance to present the offers?
You print them all out for one separately,
Okay.
and
Mm-hmm.
then you have them. I have like a notepad, and I would put the offers of in order, just the details of them, so that way they can
Mm-hmm.
kind of get all that details off of that paper versus having to go through all of the papers of their own individual
Mm-hmm.
contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I would just spread them all out, sit them down at the table, meet them at the table, and then have the pens ready for them and tea, coffee, whatever, and then
Yeah.
just be ready for it whenever they sit down.
Excellent. Excellent. What if the sellers are like, well, what's in all these offers? I'll be there at 5 o'clock, but what is it? What is it looking like? And they're trying to, get some information out of you.
I have an Excel spreadsheet that I created,
Mm-hmm.
and it's blank, and I use it for every client. We customize it, and
Mm-hmm.
it literally has every component of the offer. I'll go this way. Every component of the offer, their name, the date of acceptance, and it's got like the buyer's last name. That's not really important, but the lender, their office. Because if they ask why is that on there, I'm going to say I want to know because I know a lot of lender. I mean, yeah, I know a lot of lenders.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of offices. The broker, their office,
Mm-hmm.
and then every component: earnest money, expiration, all that. Is there acceleration, low AD? Is it, what type of lending is it? Is it conventional?
Mm-hmm.
And then just go across the board, fill out every box, and then notes, and then we email it to them, and then we Google Meet with them, unless they want to meet in person. And so we give them time to look it over, and then they have questions, and we all discuss it. I mean, once you get it down on paper like that and broken down,
Yes.
it's pretty easy to look at and know.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's
Yes.
quick and efficient.
Why?
Yes.
I totally agree 1,000% with you, Mary Lee. I don't print them like Todd's. I just put it on the spreadsheet. Quick question. Why do you do a Google Meet versus not meeting them in person?
Because people are really busy, and like the last clients we had, we did it like at 9 o'clock at night, and she was just getting out of the bath. They've got kids, and people want to Google Meet. We give them the option, and I'll tell you, 9 out of 10 times they're like, yeah, I can sit at home in my underwear and talk to you, and you can't even tell.
The reason I ask, I just feel like, yeah, 9 o'clock at night, kids are asleep. I get all that. But as being a norm, I'm a little shy of it because I feel like I would be losing a little bit of that opportunity for relationship development. I mean,
I don't think so. Not with the way society is today, and everybody's really techie. And I'm kind of an introvert, and it's comfortable for me. And so I know a lot of people are the same way. So we just give them the option. I
Okay.
love it. I love
Okay.
it.
I
Yeah.
feel like you really got to know your customer.
Yeah.
That's
Read
right.
your
They're
customer.
old
Give them the
school.
option.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Give them the option. I mean, I'll meet with you in person too if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone is going to run their practice a little differently.
Yep.
When I'm in a multiple offer situation, I always tell my clients that you're going to meet with me at my office at 3 o'clock, anytime between 3 and 6. We have our offers are due on Tuesday. And so when I'm listing the property and it goes live on Thursday, I already have an appointment with them at my office. I prefer to do this in person. You can do it online as just as easy. Um, I sort of use a combination of what Marilee has mentioned and what Todd has mentioned. I like printing out all my offers, but I also like to scare off other offers because how I negotiate, I don't want 17, 23 ridiculous offers. When agents start to tell me, I tell them that they need to be in this price range in order to be competitive. I'm not suggesting that they go outside of the fiduciary responsibilities and submit any and all offers, and I will present any and all offers. But if you want to be competitive and stay in the weight class, you need to be at about 700 pounds to 725 pounds to get in the ring with us. And if you can't get up to that weight, then you're going to get pretty much squashed in the very early part of this negotiation. So it's up to you. And so I'll legitimately try to reduce the amount and try to get like 6 to 7 offers, and I will print them all out. The customers will come in. I'll have a spreadsheet, very typical to what Marilee has, and and as they arrive, I don't put them in any particular order, but as they've received them, I'll put A, B, C, D, E, F, and G on the top right corner. And then I'll have my spreadsheet. The customers come in. I've spent time and I've gone through each one of these offers with a fine-tooth comb. I've highlighted the areas that I believe will identify which is the strongest offer. I already believe I know which one's the strongest offer, but I want to go through the highlights of each one of these, and one will certainly stand out. I do have love letters attached to some of these, and we're not going to go through the love letters. If the offer that you receive does have a love letter attached to it, we'll read it, okay? Because I don't want to have your judgment influenced based upon emotion when I'm representing you based upon what we can achieve that is more logical and makes sense. Because I want to protect and make the most, have you take a look at and accept the most secure, balanced offer. And they're like, okay. And then sometimes your customers will say, well, can I think about it? Or can we think about, making this decision? I'm like, no, the decision will be made today. You will be selecting an offer today, or right now. And like Todd said, we got 2 pins, and I put out there, and I hand each one of them a pin, and we're going to be signing this right now. And you'll be leaving here with a copy of your sale.
When it's on the spreadsheet too, it's really
Yeah.
it's so easy. And the last one we did, and she was in the bath with her kids and stuff really late. They did not take the highest offer. They didn't take it. They took the one that was more secure for them.
That's right.
And they didn't have to have a bunch of, elements with it and things like that.
Yes, that's a great part of the dialogue. You're exactly correct, Marilee.
Yeah.
And part of that dialogue is, Jim and Denise, when we sit down, we're going to go through each one of these offers. And I've gone through the highlight reels of all of these. And the highest offer is not necessarily always going to be your best offers. The offer is going to give you the most security. So what are some of the items in order for you to identify what are the main parts to a spreadsheet? I just I'm not that advanced as Marilee to have a spreadsheet. I just take a piece of paper, and on the left side I write purchase price. Right underneath purchase price I go escalation amount. Under escalation amount I put earnest money. Underneath earnest money, I put close date. Underneath close date, I put financing type. Underneath financing type, I put down payment. After down payment, I put additional funds. Underneath additional funds, I put appraisal protection. Underneath appraisal protection, I put paragraph W. Okay. Underneath paragraph W is verification of information time frame for 10 days after mutual acceptance for the buyer. Then I put underneath that, I put signed off form 17. Underneath that, I put waive a home inspection, yes or no, or waived. Underneath that, if there's a homeowners association review period, yes or no, number of days. And so I just go down those highlights and I go, here's offer A, offer B, offer C, offer D, and they're going to like, oh, well, sometimes I'm on offer C and they're like, we don't need to hear anymore. We don't want that one. Well, skip. I haven't even completed. I haven't gotten down to the last part of that, and they've already begin to recognize that this is something that we don't want to entertain. Another portion of that under miscellaneous is close date and data possession.
Yes.
And then also if there's going to be any 65B rental aspects. And so there's room at the bottom for miscellaneous bonuses, bonus items that buyers have included, such as non-refundable or released earnest money that can add weight to that. Location and proximity of the lender, and also if the lender had contacted me prior to this negotiation. Those are those little extra bonus items that sometimes will make a difference in the decision that the sellers are making, because they are really relying on not only the number, but your intuition and your experience in helping them and guiding them to what the strongest, most secure offer is going to be and protecting them. Rob, how'd it go last night for you?
It went well. They took the offer that we talked about, the 851, and that's it. And I told them this will be super easy because there's no contingencies, and the earnest money gets sent to them right away. And then also I do the same thing as you taught. I have my offer info sheet, and I just fill it out almost in the same exact order. And I just print out the offer, I put it on top of the offer, and then I do the same thing. I read them and they do the same thing. I don't want to hear anymore. Or they do, or they'll ask me details. But yeah, I've never used a spreadsheet because I'm not technically advanced like that. So
I can share my spreadsheet with everybody.
It's easy. A monkey could do it.
Yeah, I like it because you can see the columns of everything.
I do have a question though on how you guys do this, because so what I do is, yesterday I had 3 offers, and so I had 3 offers, and I hadn't presented them to the seller yet, but the agents were calling me and asking me what's going on, and so I let them know what was going on, and so even as I'm driving there, I have somebody wanting to adjust their offer again. So it sounds like you guys print out all the offers, you get there, then you present all the offers. So when would you, because I do the negotiating before I get there, having the best offer already ready to go pretty much, or know what we're going to counter with, but ideally have something ready for them to sign. Sounds like you guys just go there though, and then present all the offers. So when are you doing the negotiating?
I've already negotiated, just like you say. I already know which one we're doing.
Okay.
I have a pretty good idea, and we also can, if we're close, and we want to give everybody a chance too. So if it's like, hey, we got this with the seller's permission, to call the other brokers and say, hey, we got this much in, what are you thinking? And highest and best, or escalate. So we do give people a chance right away, because I don't want to waste their time. If they don't have a chance in hell, I want to let them know and they can go, so
I agree. After I get 2 offers.
we do let everybody know, because we're trying to take care of everybody in the whole entire transaction. But so we have an idea before we go in, and we've already feel confident about who we're thinking, but we do want to let the clients, have a good big part of their decision.
I love the direction of this conversation, because it's stirring up techniques and how to navigate sometimes this really difficult period of negotiations, because it causes a lot of stress. And not only for the buyer's agents more so, but also for us. And, putting all this together it can be very time consuming.
Well, and one reason why I have that Excel spreadsheet is because of, I've worked for so many years alone with my high volume, and I just, I've developed processes and procedures to be, just for myself. So that was like, I got to do something, let's try this. And that worked out really well. My clients really like it. They like looking at it. It's very simple. It's like ABC,
So on that spreadsheet, I'll go back through Showtime, and I'll put in all of the showings, And I call back every single showing to make sure that they're not going to put something together. And I try to corral as much as I possibly can. And then I provide
That's
that
really
feedback
nice.
as well that I'm given from the agent of why they're not putting something together.
What really tans my hide, okay, and that's an Arizona term, by the way. What really tans my hide is when a real estate broker will submit their offer, then call you back and say, "Can we improve? What can we do to improve it?" I'm like, "Okay, you mean you didn't write your best offer?" And so sometimes I'll be just say, "So you didn't write your best offer? So what are you planning on changing it now?" That's another side note. What I really want to discuss is when you have two offers that are like very freaking close. I mean, it's like neck and neck, right to the tape, right to the tape. And you're like, God, these are both good. They're both good agents. Da 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 da. And I'm having a difficult time deciphering which way to go. I will call each one of those. I'll call both real estate brokers and say, "Hey, look, you're really close, to the finish line with another broker." And they're going to say, "Well, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do?" I'm like, I just want to let you know that I'm meeting with the sellers today at 4. I want you to be available and have your buyers available at about 4:30. Okay. Because as I go through this, if we need to make a quick decision, are you able to quickly respond to our requests right around the 4:30 mark? So I would suggest right now that you get a hold of your clients and put them on notice that there may be a necessary quick, call, 911 call for your offer at about 4:30. And so when I get down to the point, I'm with the sellers and they're like, "Well, I'm not sure." And I'm like, "Okay, well, then let me make a couple phone calls." I'll pick up the phone call and say, "Hey, look, I've got another offer. Would your buyers go another $15,000 higher? Or would they release their earnest money?" Okay, give me a call back. And then I'll call the other person and I'll work the two to see if we can, identify who is actually the strongest. It's like going into overtime. Okay. You get both teams at the end of the game. It's a tie game. Say now we have to, let's add 10 more minutes onto the clock and let's let these two fight it out for the last and see who's going to come up on top. And so that's basically what I will do when I'm looking at something that these two are damn freaking close. A way to, get this something going, because, in a counter offer in an area like this, you send a counter offer over without having that communication in advance, and they decide not to have the and then they decide not to take your counter offer. Then you're like, fuck, I got to go back to the other offer who I just said that it wasn't going to work and try to recapture them. And that's happened to me before, and it's sort of embarrassing. So just a little side note.
So you put in the counter offer, you don't have them rewrite it?
No, I'll put in the counter offer because I'll have this verbally done. And I say, I need this back, authenticized within the next hour. Are you able to do that? Most of the time they're like, done.
Yeah, just redline it.
Yeah.
Counter it.
Make the counter, get it over, because the seller and the buyers at this point they're already on notice. They're on their tippy toes. And if they've been in this market like this, they're going to be extremely responsive. And even if they're at work, their counterparts, their employers, their bosses will be understanding, say, "Hey, I need to take a step out of the way for 5 minutes in order to get this house." Okay. What employer is going to say, "No, stay on the freaking phone. You can't get your house and make your life better." Okay. So that generally is the way that, Jose, if you get too really, really close, just let the other brokers know that I want to keep you and there's somebody else online at about 4:30 in the event I need to make some quick decisions. Can you just put your buyers on notice and be available for that phone call?
That's a good idea.
They're going to say yes.
I also make it clear to them.
Go ahead,
I was going to say, I also make it clear to them, to that broker agent, I'm having the same conversation with every agent or with the other agent, so they don't think that they're having some leg up. Like, the same conversation is being had with the other agent also.
Yeah. I'll let the other broker know, like, "Hey, look, it's getting close. It's between you and the other broker. It's between you and another offer. I have some others, and they're like, "What can I do now? What can I do now?" I'm like, "There's nothing you can do right now. I need to speak with the sellers first. I let them help guide this decision. I'm not making it for them. That's why I need to have you available at about 4:30. Okay, if we need to make some quick decisions. But I want to let you know you are you and another offer are the lead contenders for this win." And they're like, "Oh wow, thanks." Yeah, Todd, you had something?
I did kind of like I lost it.
Godspeed to you, Todd.
Looking good.
Yeah, he is.
I did have a
know.
question on a kind of on the same note, but a different note. On a listing, what needs to happen in order for a listing to get canceled and for somebody else to take the listing? What needs to happen to get that clock reset? Days on market.
60 days off market.
There's nothing else that can be done?
60 days off market.
That's it. Okay.
Yep. It needs to be taken off the shelf in order for the market time to reset at 0.
And then is it still in the history? It's still in the history.
Everything will be remain in the history, but it won't show up on the counters as in other search engines as 56 days, when you just took it over 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot of buyers are so savvy looking at history.
It used to be 90 days. And years ago, it was no days. And then you would have, this was when the market was much different for everyone that has been here in less than, for more than about 9 years. Because in 2010 is when the market went, and then things changed. Before that, you could take a listing and have it on the market for 30 to 40 days. Believe it or not, listings were on the market for 34 days once in ancient history. It was knocked out in a stone tablet. Okay. And so you could cancel the listing and relist it the next day and it would start at 0.
I think people on Zillow have been doing that. I think there's like a glitch that people do on Zillow. Also, there's like a price lowering one where I get like an email on these like FSBOs where they'll have like a fake lower price every day. But it's not. It's like when you go to those 90% off stores and everything's 90% off every day. Like they figured it out.
I don't look at Zillow or Redfin, and I work with both of them, and I drive my clients away from them, and I tell them immediately at the beginning of our relationships.
I remember my question. So for a listing, it's like if you're trying to get a listing appointment and your seller has nothing but time, do you just go ahead and try to put it on the market for what they're asking for the seat just to get traffic there? Because they have a unique property, and with a unique property, you have to have a unique buyer. And for it to close mouths don't get fed. So to get the right person to buy it, you need people out there. So that's what I'm asking. Should you just list it? And then if you need to, I don't want to, but if you need to bring it down later on, you do that.
Yeah, there's a whole strategy surrounding the reasons to take an overpriced listing in any market. One are for me, I have taken overpriced listings. And